44 years ago, on April 29, 1980, the world lost one of the greatest, if not the greatest, directors who ever lived, the Master of Suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. Whether you've seen his entire 53-film catalog, plus all 10 seasons of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, or you've never seen a single second of Hitchcock, you likely know he was known for surprise, suspense, and scaring people. And maybe you'd think that a guy like that wouldn't be scared of anything, but you'd be wrong. And that, dear friends, is why we've gathered here today, to discuss the 5 things that scared Alfred Hitchcock. But before we begin, we ask you to subscribe to our channel and leave this video a like so more people can find it. Okay, here we go.
Don't watch if you have a weak stomach.
Alfred Hitchcock admits to being scared from a very young age. Here he is on the Dick Cavett Show in 1972.
I think my mother scared me when I was 3 months old. You see, she said, boo.
Of course, Hitch is jesting there, we think, but he truly does admit to being a bit of a scaredy cat, and that's helped him. But when Alfred was just a boy, he earned a lifelong fear of police officers.
Terrified of the police. Terrified.
See, story goes that when he was just 6, following some sort of childhood misdeed, his father sent him to the police station with a note in his hand. When he handed the note to the officer immediately put him in a jail cell, as the note had asked him to do so. The event most likely contributed to Hitchcock's lifelong fear of the police and authority figures, along with the motif of wrongful imprisonment that featured in many of his films. Of course, Hitch says he's not against the police, just afraid of them, but he certainly had a way of making them look like the big bad. Okay, police. And what else? Children. Yes, Hitchcock admitted in an interview that small children increased his adrenaline production. I mean, let's be honest, kids are scary, even, or maybe even especially, after you've had them. Hitchcock did, of course, have one daughter with his wife, Alma, named Patricia Alma Hitchcock. Hitchcock also admitted to having acrophobia, or a fear of heights. Acrophobia was, of course, pretty prominent in vertigo. Vertigo itself, which is the inability for your body to discern up from down, doesn't necessarily come with a fear of heights, but for some people who suffer vertigo, heights can trigger it. Despite what many people think, Hitchcock had no fear of birds, at least not fully grown ones. But he said on several occasions that he had a fear of eggs. In a 1963 interview, Hitchcock said, "I'm afraid of eggs, worse than frightened, they revolt me. That white round thing without any holes. Have you ever seen anything more revolting than an egg yolk breaking and spilling its yellow liquid? Blood is jolly, red, but egg yolk is yellow, revolting. I've never tasted it." And lastly, and this one may be the hardest to believe, yeah, even harder to believe than he was scared of eggs, Hitchcock was afraid of scary movies. In an interview in 1963, Hitchcock said, "I'm frightened of my own movies. I never go to see them. I don't know how people can bear to watch my movies." In fact, Hitch famously loved cheesy comedies. He had reportedly absolutely fallen in love with Smokey and the Bandit when it came out in 1977. Of course, Hitchcock was known to stitch a healthy dose of comedy into many of his movies, and he's said to have had a wicked sense of humor. But that's another topic, for another video, for another time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe too, and leave a comment. Lastly, check out Life Story on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We've got the links in our profile.